Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. My name is Jillian Bartlett. I am an executive member of the Coalition of Independence. In addition to that, I'm also the vice chair lady and the coordinator. I've done a series of talks with regards to Vision 2030, the Coalition of Independence 2030 vision for the Bahamas. I'm about to conclude today's session on land. Yes, I think I got to a certain part of it. It's extensive, but it is worth going to read. It's really worth the effort to read it. It is not a novel. It's not the Bible. And it won't take you that long, but I wanted to do this and put it in parts to address another vexing issue we have in the Bahamas, and it is with regards to our land. You know, we can tell stories in my decade, my mother's decade, and her mother's decade. We've always had issue with lands and family and land and disputes and family breaking up about land and the government taking land from the people and using it allegedly for investment purposes, but without a transparent way of doing it. And now I think, honestly, for Freeport Grand Bahama, the whole Grand Bahama suffers from really land confusion. All right, I believe we have a huge problem. I've also discovered, since I've been doing these live on land, this is the 3839. Don't forget, I did it on immigration. We talk about solutions. We didn't row, we didn't cuss. We spoke to what needs to be rectified because both political parties at hand have failed to address it and try to even put a dent in it like they put a dent in crime. So we still have a problem with that, right? Then the second one I spoke to was good governance. Good governance is very important because, you know, we live in the 26th century right now, and I could see governments and its system started getting weak. It's not consistent. It doesn't work for all the people, just work for some of the people. And that's not the reason why governments were invented. So the next module I did was on good governance and, you know, transparency in government and government accountability and the Freedom of Information Act we don't have under good governance in the Bahamas, and it just keeps going on and on. But what I liked about that module with regards to the good governance under the Coalition of Independence mandate, that they're going to put the power back in the hands of the people. I love that. I don't have a problem with that. I think after 53 years of independence, some of us are in our 60s, 70s, some in our 40s, 50s, 20, 35-ish, and we need to have this now, okay? It's no government is working right now. We're not pleased with it. We're all good citizens who can deal with this because this government as today isn't working for the entire diaspora, and it could happen it's happening in every country. Countries are having riots all over, not just the United States now, don't get it wrong, but they're tired of the government that appears to be filling their own pocket and private jets and planes and this and that, and people living amongst the street. So the mandate for the Coalition of Independence 2030 is to put the power back to the people, and I mean responsibly, okay? Just can't come in and think you're just gonna qualify. But who know better how to run one's community better than those who actually live in those community? So that was the second module. The third module was on a big topic. I mean, this is huge. Natural resources. Do you know, maybe through Mr. Lincoln Baines consistently of educating the Bahamian diaspora and maybe some foreigners too. We know now, well, okay, the foreigners know we had the natural resources contracts are signed in 1955 and 1965 and so on and so forth, so they knew before us. But do you know there are still a lot of Bahamians who don't know we have natural resources? Now I have the camera pointed to some very interesting natural resources. You know, they say these things and they could duplicate it now, and you know, they could make this by the tray loads and sell it, and we just have them washing up on the beach. You all know that's a natural resource, right? That's a natural resource, okay? We got plenty of these in the ocean, just growing wild. I really wanted to show you this because, again, I was talking about our natural resources solutions. So according to the Coalition of Independence, the natural resources will be used to reinvest in the Bahamas and its people. Okay, that's a no-brainer. But I have a question too, and I want you to help me share this, please. I have a question to those in authority that sits in the House of Assembly passing bills that don't make no sense, right? How come they ain't using our natural resources now to benefit us? Didn't David say last year, 2 years ago, he announced it sometime in 2024, right? He's going to come to the general public and he's going to tell us what our natural resources will be doing so we can capitalize in the Bahamas. Well, it's 6 months in and he drops on the newspaper and we're still waiting to see what happened. Now, these are experienced career politicians talking to y'all. You know, we don't, Mr. Bain didn't show y'all. They are in seat of authority. How come they ain't doing it now? So I'm pointing you to some of our natural resources. Once people are natural resources. Your heritage is national resources. Natural resources. Sponge is natural resource. Diamonds are natural resource. Oil, aragonite, this and night, every night you could think of as natural resources. This shell here, I really wanted to show you what treasures we have in our country called the Bahamas, and we can not allow the 40 members in the House of Assembly to hold you all hijack whilst they give you all another 200 jobs. So here, I just want to show you this. This here actually is not something that's pre-made. This just washed up on the beach and decided to, I'll have this one. I told the crab, I'm sorry, Mr. Crab, I think you look like you're in the wrong shell. I don't know what conch is supposed to be in this shell, but this is not damaged. I'm still have to clean it up a bit. I have a lot of shells in there that I just pick up sparingly. Those in the Bahamas know what this is. This is a natural resource. This tastes better than conch, you know. This is a natural resource. Anybody can tell me what this is? Anybody in here from the Bahamas? Please share this, and I'm going to share it in a couple of seconds before I take a break. This is a natural resource, people. People have these decorations in their home. You can polish it up, you know, people. I know the way to polish them up. Make them look like brand new. Every shell has a place, but it's when you grind up the shell, that's made into something that you are practically using every day. Your cell phone. I say no more. All right? These are things that naturally wash up on the beach. All of these are used as decoration, rule number 1. Secondly, you grind them up. They could be used as many things. I want you to Google these things. You need to be informed, Bahamians, especially I'm talking about the Bahamian people, because that's what the COI is about. It's about further education, deeper exposure, more education. Yes, you're going to get bored. Too bad. We're not here to entertain anyone. Okay, that is not our place. We don't want to dumb you down. We want to raise your standards. We want you to know what you have available in your country. And when you don't have leaders who have vision, Believe me, there's so many other countries who lead that vision. I ain't say they all do. I'm not talking about the ones whose people leaving their country and Mr. Trump is putting say, I'm sorry, I've had it. That's it. Mr. Trump say you can't come to my country anymore. I had enough. We can, the Bahamas is on that list. And yet, so the natural resources is a big feature piece in the Coalition of Independence. So is the good governance. So is the migration issue, because when it's coming overwhelmingly obvious, they can't handle it. And my fourth was land, which I'm going to conclude today. I'm going to conclude the conversation on land. It's going to be a very short one today. So I want you to please listen in. I want you to please visit our website and read it for yourself. Now, I took it upon myself to do this. Mr. Bain has been in the forefront exposing and educating, not just in the last 4 years. He's been doing this over 20 plus years. He is not a newcomer. He is not a child. He's a grown man. He knows the ills of his country. And who better to help represent us than somebody who was actually born in the Bahamas? Because government ain't working. It ain't working here. It ain't working nowhere, as a matter of fact. Now, keep out of the fights between political parties, because when something doesn't unite you, it ain't good for you. Okay? You be about 2026 about uniting people, educating them and open their eyes to the obvious. Your country is failing all around you. All right, so please help me share. So today, I will commence my talks and conclude my talk on the land preservations under the Coalition of Independence 2030 and what the solutions are and what we can do to save ourselves. That's what it's about, you know. Self-governance is saving yourself. Remember now, I told you about the 5 laws for land, right? Now remember now, I want you to remember this. 1956, the British came to help. We wasn't independence until 1973. So we didn't know nothing but self-governance. So they helped because they wanted to be the providence over the Bahamas, mean, you know, be in charge of the Bahamas, okay? Literally. And what they did was they brought something called the Quieting Act. That was the law of the land way back there. Independence in 1973 to 83, 93, 203. But between when this law was introduced, the government introduced another one. I think the second one was the Immovable Act. That was the second one. The third one was called IPLA, something with international people, okay? And the fourth and fifth, was passed in the House of Assembly, I believe, because that's how I saw it in Google, but then I saw it in our mandate. The other two was called Adjudication Act. If it's an act, it's a law. And the other one is called the Registration Act. So we had 5 laws, 53 years of governance under 2 political parties, and today they still can't fix it for you. And they right in the House of Assembly, and the election is in 6 months. You know what a governing party where the majority rule could make happen in 6 months? Everything. But saying that they haven't, you're gonna get fired. Not on the fact that you won't use our natural resources. You don't build a hospital. You didn't complete the roads. Some people's house still have taps on it from Dorian. Electric bills are too high. Bureaucracy in trying to apply for land is too much. You haven't given out And even if you give one person 133 acres of thing to invest, the so-called company, like the road paving company, that doesn't make up. You moved too slow. You was traveling too much. You were being too mouthy and calling people, I forget, I don't remember what you call the COI, but anyway, you call names. That's petty. You're a grown 77-year-old man in your 70s. You don't address the Bahamian people like that. And then you won't fool with it. You won't fix the immigration issue. So we got a problem, Houston. We got a problem. All right, so Vision 2030 Land Reservation on page 27 is where I'm just going to read some highlight. And I'm at 4.2. We will features of the National Law Registry. That is important. And, we need that, honestly. And here's a comprehensive parcel mapping. We don't have that. The COI will bring that. What else the COI will bring? Registration of title means that you're gonna passing the law land legally to convert that parcel of land legally and transparency so everybody can see it. So everybody could go online and say, oh, I see who bought that. Okay, cool, whatever. Number 3, you need a land adjudication tribunal. Land adjudication tribunals. Because you all know why we need many. We have many islands and key. We ain't worried about the boundary. No. We're not confused. We're worried about making sure that there's adjudication tribunal and as possible in many of our different islands. Do you know how much jobs this will bring? I want you to think about this. This will bring so many jobs for the Bahamas to protect our most sacred land, which is these beautiful 700 rocks and keys. You don't want those jobs, or you just want the jobs at the expansion of the container port, where they can treat you like slave, where we have more accidents, and I'm talking about death accidents ongoing. And people have complained to me about bad treatments, and I don't know why the foreigners want to do that, because you got a problem. So here we are again. So adjudication law is needed. Tribunal is needed, and possibly in many, many islands that bring jobs. That's common sense. Why aren't they talking about this in that House of Assembly? Because one man signed one contract for $660 million to extend a container port so your grandchildren could work on it now. Because I know one thing, I ain't working at no container port. It's still a okay thing, but I think the focus is wrong. So, eliminating the Quieting Act is a big thing that the COI political party wants to do. All right? So they're going to eliminate the title Quieting Act. Please remember, the Quieting Act, original purpose isn't what it is today. That's why I said we don't trust these people who in that House Assembly. Let me tell you why. They become number one lawbreakers of protocol and laws. So what that Quieting Act was originally purposed for, honestly, that's really not happening. And we cannot tolerate any more abuse in 2026. That's it. It's a very abusive act right now. Land Adjudication Tribunal, I'm going to repeat it again because it's important because you're not familiar with it. All right? Again, we need to be respected in our country. Okay? Bahamians need to be first, no matter how you might feel about us. No matter how we don't vote for your political party. You don't get petty. You don't. So we need a tribunal adjudication process, and we need it done fairly and openly and transparently. It's too much frustration, too much political interference we have done with that. Then we have the digital and accessible records. Please, has anybody went into the land and survey to apply yet? Have they upgraded? Can you do it on your phone yet? No, you can't. People have been asking me for the application. They don't know where to go to get it. It's always a confusion. We don't need that no more. We already have enough stress from high electricity bills and food too expensive. Oh, they're taking the VAT on food. Oh, you all believe that? Take it. They should have done that 2 years ago, and then we would believe them. But not 6 months into the election. We ain't believe nothing they say. Number 8. Interagencies integration. So let's say you got to pay your taxes, right? It's roll up, it's updated. And you don't have to be killing yourself. It'll be automatically updated. Okay? You don't need to be running to and fro, up and down, trying to figure if you miss paying your taxes for your land. And I don't even know why you're paying taxes for land, and they say it was free. And why the government got taxes on land, they got taxes on food, medical. They say they can take the taxes of the food. Don't believe them. They should have done that 2 years ago. They got taxes on your insurance. They got taxes on your private school fees. I believe they got tax on your government school fees. So this interagencies integration, so the tax rolls are updated automatically. And given the registered owner leasehold, so you can be an owner or leaseholder. So you don't have to be too confused what to expect. There's so much confusion. I don't even know how to put this in perspective. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's too much. An update need to be. Digital is only could be done under a new political party, because both parties had more than enough time to do this. Okay? Don't come 6 months in and tell us you're going to give us no VAT on food. That's too late. You could have done that 2 years ago. You think and trust you for one little bit vote so you can get back in and still give us a runaround? So you needed 1 year to travel. You needed a whole 4 years travel back and forth. I stopped counting the trips they went on after they went over 20 in 1 year. I said, well, I can't deal with this. This is too much for me. Y'all can't even sort out a digital accessibility for records for Bahamian it's their land given to them by the crown. Do y'all think that this belongs to y'all now? Anyway, these are some of the pointers that the COI will do. Number 9, public trust and education. Now, this is a huge one. I tell you, if y'all trust them this time, you finish. Don't let them swing y'all. Who come in 6 months into the election in 2026 to tell y'all they could do it for y'all, just signing the contracts again, and they right in the House Assembly talking about this bill, that bill, what they can pass, and if y'all listen to the deliberation, when I try to listen to 4 of them, I miss Mr. Honorable Iram Lewis, because I was so empty when I listened to their deliberation. I say, who are they fooling? Then I had to go back and listen to Miss Honorable Iram Lewis. Boy, did he put the shame on them. You even ain't fixed the rusty pipes yet? I talking about simplicity, common sense, things to fix. The rusty pipe, that is a health issue. Wait a minute, they haven't even fixed the airport yet. I mean, no, forget the airport. They haven't even get the hospital to get it yet. So I don't know. I don't know. Make it make sense. This is why public trust in there with them. But no, they can put on their shirts and try to laugh and do a dance, and that's supposed to make the rusty pipes that the Honorable Hiram Lewis presented in the House yesterday make sense. Oh, they can try to fix it before 6 months? Too late. Public trust and education. Going back to the COI's Vision 2030 on land preservation. It's extremely difficult for the general public to understand all of what you're listening to, but just keep this in mind, general public. Keep this in mind. When the COI get in the House Assembly, we ain't gonna be doing no mumble jumble talk. Just keep this in mind, though. This is what I want the public to remember. Between 1956 to 2025, we had 5 law lands. And honestly, in this campaign trail, they making no specific sense. All of this information that I'm reading is on the 2030 vision. It's a very people-friendly, interactive. Put your email in your comments, read it, share it, listen to the documentary videos, because if you listen to them in the House of Assembly, you are not going to get more educated and informed. You're going to get dumber. I don't have no space for getting dumber. I'm done with that. Okay? I'm done with that. So the public trust and education. The COI will recognize that many Bahamians, especially the older generation, might be unfamiliar or skeptical of a new system. But that's okay. That's okay, senior citizens of the Bahamas. We got y'all. We got y'all. Just ask your children, and we got you, because your children needs to. Your children have to. In this dispensation, they must benefit from this, okay? There will be a public education, and we know who's good at not giving protocols coming to the Bahamian First with public notices and doing what's right. The COI will be explaining that to register your land is beneficial and secure, because it'll be transparent, it will be digital. Even the Grammys will be able to use their cell phones and their iPads and log on and say, oh boy, I wish my grandmother knew and saw this in this dispensation. Yeah. So the government may subsidize severing courses, right? That's fine. Government's supposed to do something for you. That's their job. For a period of encourage voluntary registration. The COI will train more Bahamians. Is the government saying this publicly? Are they saying this in the House of Assembly 6 months in before the general election, that they can be hiring all these Bahamians to be surveyors? Do you know how much great jobs that would be for the Bahamian men and women? And that's a talent no one can take away from you. But the COI can do this, because COI is going to do this because you can't trust them to do this, because they could have done this from 2 years ago, but they did not. All right? I want you all to take that in for a second, please. Take that in for a second. The job in land and survey is a desperate need. You know, like when some people, like if you're buying land, you have to go and get an appraisal. If you're selling land, you got to go and get an appraisal. Do you know that there's a desperate need for younger men and women to now take on these roles? That's 20 years ago. That's 15 years ago. Now, you all know in 15 years ago, there's been a 5-year short election term because people's upset. So why they not saying, instead of saying, signing a contract to expand the container port for 200 jobs. There's only going to be working, manual labor, but to be a surveyor under the Coalition of Independence plan, that's a job that no one can ever take away from you. And if you want to upgrade your license, guess what? You just need to take one small test in the US and boom, boom, you upgrade it. I know these things, okay? Don't ask me how, but I do. So there's another underdeveloped industry that's eluding our young people. But no, they won't put them in t-shirts, make them make noise, make them make fools of themselves on Facebook, cussing and swearing, being imbeciles. That's the only thing they bring into our youth, but not under the COI. We're completely different. So you all think about the surveyor jobs. Those are very important. Another underdeveloped department of employment is mapping and land administrators. These are all real jobs that the COI will be bringing forward. Okay, it's not wrong with our jobs, expertise, which no one can take away from you because you will compete on any level with any other nationality, and you will be put first in your country. But I want y'all to think about that. I don't want to snooze over that, because these job positions are much more beneficial than just being a laborer or just being a maid or just being in this and that and that and that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with those jobs. Gardening, nothing wrong with that. We can aspire to do even greater. Perhaps this is another additional, and maybe perhaps this is already at COI. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe y'all could tell me, but the COI wants to guarantee that this will be one of the module study programs at, I don't want to even call it a university, because honestly, I've seen university in Virginia and New York and all kind of different places, and I still don't think the College of the Bahamas qualify for us per se. I still don't think the standard is where it should be for university. I'm sorry, but I'm going to call it like I see it, because I'm not one to just, because it got some facelift and maybe a little expansion, it's a university. I don't know. I'm not feeling it, so sorry. But the COI will propose a partnership with the University of the Bahamas, offering courses. Maybe that they're ready. I don't know if they are great, but they're going to make sure and enforce it, because we got a whole generation that needs to take these job positions, because we have 700 islands in the Bahamas and they need to be catered to, okay? All right, the old guards who've had these positions need to just back on the side and bring in new apprenticeship, and I'm saying that. So we got to take it to another level. Courses on GIS and land laws. Men and women, you need to know these things, okay? People, you need to know this. Generation, that's beyond my, younger than my generation, you need to know these things, okay? We fully in place, want to put in place, the COI want to fully put in place a national land registry. If in the next 6 months they even try to talk with this, it's too late, because they ain't do it 2 years ago. They ain't do it in 2021 when they first get in. All they did was travel around the world, dress up, and take big groups of Bahamians, which is fine. You'll go for the trip. And all I see them swinging the liquor back and forth. I said, what is this, a drunken affair? A dress-up affair? A fashion show? Where are the yields of all those trips they took in the last 4 years? I want them to campaign on this. I want them. But I just want to listen to their campaign messages. I end up just want to throw up. That's how I feel. But when the COI comes in, sorry about that finger thing. When the COI come in, they will fully put in these place a real digital national land registry. Okay? We will make the land deals faster, cheaper, and safer, and definitely transparent. There was a comment in the Tribune article cynically noted every government talks, or they could talk, about the land registry, but does nothing, and that the powers that be would lose too much. What they can lose? I don't understand what they can lose too much of, because the land don't belong to them. It belongs to the people. They think they can lose too much, according to this Tribune article dated some time back. But the COI is determined in 2026 and beyond to prove that it's cynicism, that we have no interest. We have no interest in preserving a broken system that benefits the few at the expense of the many. And need I say, VAT is on everything. And if they take VAT off food, you're too late. Damaged and done. The Bahamians are done with you. Empty promise are over. Talking and dressing up in the House of Assembly, we finish with that. But Bahamians, it's all on you now. You are actually a majority. They're a minority. There's only 40 of them. Okay? It's 300,000 of you all, whoever registered on the register. It's up to you all. Yeah, don't get fooled no more, because this is your last time to be fooled. It's up to you all. You are the light. You are the light for this vision to come through for you. No FNM and PLP, but that'll make no sense. How they can keep fighting each other, and then when you look around in your society, everything look like shit to the shit. Yeah, I'm gonna say it because it's the truth. So I'm gonna end the talks here. I'm encouraging everyone to go on our website. I stop at page 28. You can see all this information. If you don't want to read, you can quickly just go through this information. I try to keep it to 30 minutes. Keep it short and sweet. And then you can go on and for yourself. I'm going to read it to myself because believe me, I learned a lot. I learned more than I knew when I started these modules. So go and read up, educate yourself, and then don't hurt your head, listen to them in the House of Assembly. Because honestly, you have to ask yourself, listen, y'all talking this, but y'all in the seat of authority. How come y'all just don't go do it? Then you gotta ask yourself, Weston, you know I can get on Weston. I love you people, boy. But you gotta ask yourself why you ain't fix the road. You gotta ask yourself why they put the pole lights on yet. They talking about $660 million to expand a container port. You looking for a break. Oh no, they can give you all a break. They say they can give you all on expensive food already, okay? But there can be no VAT. I wonder what that look like. But then customs still on that? They can give you all a break. Okay, that's the break you can get West End. I'll say Freeport too. Grand Bahama. You getting a break. You got buildings in Grand Bahama, in Freeport. You got the what you call the bazaar still there with one man cutting wood in the front. Make it make sense, man. The hospital's still there. Millions upon billions after 15 years with the Ryan Memorial Hospital. Don't get sick. Yeah, they have the clinics and stuff. Don't get sick. That's the only solution. Don't get sick. But get sick and tired of them and vote them out. Ain't no more games, no more game over. We living in 2025. You can't say you have all that experience. And you are the political party with all the experience, and you even ain't make nothing to make the Bahamian life. You're all fighting and carrying on like anybody interested in that. Families fighting enough over the land registry and fighting because ain't nothing organized. And the COI comes with the solution. All y'all gotta do is give us one chance. Listen here. Half of y'all will be employed under the COI because it don't take just the candidates. It takes a community to make its islands better. That's all I can say. In the meantime, we have natural resources that's untouched because we don't have people who got vision. We got people who live abroad who got vision, and they'll come and they'll take it, and I don't blame them. I'd take it too if I was them. We got things like this washing up, excuse me, not in the camera today, on the beach. Yeah, that. This is not a manufacturer. And people make these things and sell them. But we got them washing right here on the beach. They grind them up and make materials out of these things. But no. They want y'all to be distracted with their stupid suits in the House of Assembly talking. 6 months into this election, no, y'all show them more than y'all could tell them. And you don't have to be dirty about it, but you don't have to walk on no eggshells because they having a war. Because they did not do their job. They thought that they could snow y'all over one more time. Love you, babies. I love you. I know I love you with all my heart, but don't be fooled. And we're not going to leave no stones unturned. It's your time, and it's your time now. I want everybody to help me share this. This will be my last on the land. I stop at 28 on our website, the Coalition of Independence, www.thecoalitionofindependence.com. All of the vision is there. Look at it, question it, read it, then go question your MP that you've been dedicated to for 53 years and ask them, how come this? How come that? Why are you doing this? Why this cost so much? Who paying for this? How come I ain't got no light on my road? How come I ain't got no real hospital? How come my old people dying in the hospital, children getting knocked down on the road? Well, what's going on with our country? Ask every question and ask them, where's my 1 acre? Where's my $100,000? Yeah. You're entitled to that. You can take a break. Why not? Why can't you take a break? Hustling, working jobs that don't make no sense, and your young people following right behind you, not getting the education that they need, that they can always have, and nobody could take that away from them. This is only one. Land Silvera is a lucrative job. We have over 700 islands need saving, and we don't even have a proper national land registration. Think on that when you're wearing them t-shirts, them other people t-shirts, not us, not the COI shirts. Be good.